Good morning and welcome to your AI Future. I'm Reid, and today is Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. Today's show is dense. Anthropic just unveiled a new model that found security flaws in every major operating system and web browser. Google's AI search feature is delivering wrong answers 1 in every 10 times. OpenAI's board has opened a formal inquiry into CEO Sam Altman, and Intel just joined Elon Musk's Terafab AI chip factory. We have a lot to get through.
Everything on today's agenda has a direct business implication, Marcus. The Anthropic cybersecurity move alone changes the threat landscape for every company running enterprise software. I'm Dr. Sarah Chen, and let's get into it.
We lead with Anthropic's biggest announcement in months. They have launched Project Glasswing, a cybersecurity initiative powered by a new model called Claude Mythos Preview. During testing, Mythos found security vulnerabilities in every major operating system and every major web browser. Apple, Google, NVIDIA, and more than 45 other organizations are joining the effort. The framing: use the AI that can break everything to help defend everything.
This is a fundamental shift in how cybersecurity works, and businesses need to understand the implications on both sides. On the defense side, if Mythos is as capable as Anthropic claims, the companies inside the Glasswing coalition get access to the most powerful vulnerability-finding tool ever built. On the offense side, this capability does not stay contained forever. The same model that found thousands of 0 days in testing will eventually be in the hands of threat actors.
The business takeaway is urgency. If you are running enterprise software on any major operating system, which is every business, your security posture based on yesterday's threat models is already outdated. This announcement effectively accelerates the vulnerability discovery timeline industry-wide. Security teams need to be patching faster, and CISOs need to be in front of their boards this week explaining what Glasswing means for their specific stack.
There is also a vendor risk angle here. 45-plus organizations are inside this coalition. The ones on the outside are not getting the early warnings. If your security tools, your cloud provider, or your software vendor is not part of Glasswing, you should be asking them directly why not and when they expect to join.
Next, Google is in trouble with AI search accuracy. Ars Technica published a detailed analysis showing that Google's AI overviews, the AI-generated answer summaries that appear at the top of search results, are wrong approximately 10% of the time. That sounds like a small number until you factor in scale. Millions of searches per hour are surfacing AI summaries. 1 in 10 of those answers is incorrect.
The structural problem here is what makes this serious, Marcus. It is not random errors. It is a consistent error rate at massive scale with no easy way for users to identify which 9 answers out of 10 are correct. This is how misinformation enters enterprise decision-making quietly, not through obvious hallucinations, but through plausible wrong answers embedded in authoritative-looking search interfaces.
For business leaders, this has immediate workflow implications. If your teams are using Google Search to research competitors, market data, regulatory requirements, or technical specifications, a 10% AI error rate means you have a systematic accuracy problem that your teams may not even be aware of. Standard operating procedure needs to be: any AI-generated search summary gets verified against the source document before it informs a decision.
This also has implications for anyone using Google AI overviews as a benchmark for their own AI deployment. The message from Google's own product is that 10% inaccuracy at scale is a product that ships. Set your own accuracy standards based on your risk tolerance, not on what large platforms are normalizing.
Now to the OpenAI leadership crisis, which is escalating fast. 2 separate reports broke today. The New Yorker published a deep dive citing multiple current and former insiders who say the problem at OpenAI is Sam Altman himself, specifically around trust, leadership direction, and commitment to the founding mission. Separately, sources are reporting that OpenAI's board has quietly opened a formal inquiry into Altman, with allegations that he misled the board about the safety roadmap and concealed dissenting opinions from senior engineers.
This is different from the 2023 board drama, Marcus. That was a fast crisis that resolved in 72 hours. What is being described now is a slow erosion of institutional trust, multiple independent sources, coordinated disclosure, a board inquiry, and a New Yorker piece. Those do not happen simultaneously by accident.
The business exposure here is real. OpenAI's products are running inside enterprise workflows at thousands of companies. If this becomes a governance crisis that triggers strategic whiplash, pricing reversals, capability changes, API policy shifts, businesses that have built core dependencies on OpenAI infrastructure are exposed. This is the second week in a row we have said this. Vendor concentration in AI is a risk management issue, not just a technology choice.
Elon Musk is also in court this week seeking Sam Altman's removal as CEO as part of his ongoing OpenAI lawsuit. He is asking that any damages go to OpenAI's nonprofit arm rather than to himself, an interesting positioning move that frames the lawsuit as a mission protection effort. The legal pressure is compounding the internal governance pressure at exactly the wrong time for OpenAI.
Let's move to the hardware story of the day. Intel has officially joined Elon Musk's Terafab AI chip project. Terafab is building next-generation AI chips for humanoid robots and data centers. And according to multiple reports today, the scope has expanded to include space-based AI infrastructure. Intel's manufacturing scale, plus Musk's deployment ambitions across Tesla Robotics, xAI, and Stargate, creates a significant new player in the AI compute race.
Intel needed this, Marcus. The company has been losing ground to NVIDIA and AMD in AI hardware for 2 years. Terafab gives Intel a major enterprise anchor customer and a clear roadmap for where next-generation AI chips will be deployed. For Intel shareholders, this is the clearest signal yet that the turnaround has a path.
For businesses thinking about AI infrastructure strategy, the Terafab development reinforces something we said last week after Oracle's data center announcement. The bottleneck is compute, and that bottleneck is not going away. Every major tech player, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, SoftBank, and now Musk Intel, is racing to build the chips and facilities to run frontier AI. SoftBank and the Department of Energy announced today they are building the world's largest AI data center at a former DOE facility in Ohio, 10 gigawatts of capacity. These are not incremental infrastructure investments. They are generational bets.
The strategic implication for businesses is timing. The companies that are building AI-native workflows right now will have a structural cost advantage when this compute capacity comes online in 27 and 28. The compute that is expensive today becomes dramatically cheaper at that scale. Plan your AI investment roadmap around that cost curve, not today's prices.
One more story that business leaders should track. OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google are now sharing intelligence through the Frontier Model Forum to combat what they call adversarial distillation by Chinese AI companies. Bloomberg reported that firms including DeepSeek, Moonshot, and Minimax have been systematically querying ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, then using the outputs to train cheaper copycat models. U.S. officials estimate this costs Silicon Valley Labs billions annually. The three companies are developing detection technologies and will cancel accounts, ban IP ranges, and alter rate limits.
This is significant for any business that has deployed AI for competitive research or proprietary analysis. The frontier labs are now actively treating certain usage patterns as adversarial. If your use case involves high-volume querying of AI APIs to build datasets or train internal models, even for legitimate purposes, you need to review your usage patterns against what these platforms are now flagging. The policy lines are being drawn fast.
That is our show for Wednesday, April 8th. The common thread today: AI is moving from a competitive advantage to a systemic risk management challenge. Anthropic's cybersecurity announcement changes your threat surface. Google's accuracy problem changes your research workflows. OpenAI's governance crisis changes your vendor risk calculus. The Intel Terafab deal changes the hardware landscape you will be planning against in 3 years.
Businesses that are treating AI as just a productivity tool are missing the governance and risk dimensions that are becoming just as important as the capability dimensions. Stay ahead of both. We will see you tomorrow on your AI Future.